Hello dear friends, Fisher here. Today we continue with our beautiful stories, The Power of the Spirit by ALFRED HOSP, also known as Freddie in the book. So today Freddie reported a conversation between Bruno and also Freddie's mom. And then the conversation is regarding Freddie's future. And the first part is like this. Bruno said, "Mrs. HOSP, you must take up the divine power more consciously and must yearn for it in the same way as people have a desire for their beloved partners. You certainly know how that is when a husband and wife stand facing one another. The husband then feels a strong longing for his wife in his body, and on the other side, the wife desires her husband. These are the most powerful feelings in human life, and they are in essence the driving force for new life. But life is God, and therefore the feelings between the two sexes are also of a divine nature, and they are only not in order if one partner represses the other and treats them as if they were their own private property. Love should always remain a matter of free will. Only then is it divine and brings blessing as well. If, therefore, anyone would like to attain the connection to God, they must yearn for it with a spiritual longing, and that is just as unconditional as that for a beloved person. Mark this one thing, Mrs. HOSP. True love overcomes what is difficult and achieves that which lies in God's plan." Bruno just say a very, very powerful paragraph here, and a few points here. And Bruno mentioned is the love to God is like a love, a desire, a feeling of strong longing for each other between the husband and wife. So somehow it's almost unexplainable. And when you have in a relationship, when you have husband and wife, and then of course some people not married, they live together and then they love each other, that kind of feeling, you know it, and then when you have it, when you feel it, you know it, and then you can't explain it, you can't talk about it, why you have that kind of feeling. It's like when I see my wife and I just love her so much, and then I felt very strong desire for her, and I can't explain it. Yes, life is full of trouble sometimes, and I have challenges, and then we all have challenges. But as both Bruno said, true love overcomes what is difficult and achieves which lies in God's plan. And I see my marriage, my wife and I, we have almost opposite personality. The way of our thinking is very, very different, extremely different. And then often we have to talk a lot to reach a agreement. It's like sometimes I joke with it. It's like passing a bill in the parliament. But that's it. So I've been married for many years, so there was lots of challenges to overcome in my marriage, and often it was very difficult. It's very difficult when you just can't reach agreements. Lots of time with the one you live with, the one you love the most. It was frustration. And I could quite a few times I said, "Oh my God, and I can't bear this woman anymore. Oh God, please release me." And then God always changed me. God always changed me to be able to serve my wife and to serve the family in large. So I'm the one always changed. And then I think that's the only one we can change is ourselves. We can't change others. If you love, make some changes. It doesn't mean you should lose yourself. You shouldn't. But make some changes. Give up at least a good portion of your own ego to be able to accommodate your partners. And then there's lots of difficulties in your marriage, in your partnership, whatever. I know, I experienced that. Lots of difficulties. Like my wife, she was an extremely emotional person, and I'm not. So when she expresses her emotions, and I almost have no receptor for it, and often it was irritating. And then I say to her, and I say to myself, the biggest thing we share between my wife and I was God, and I love her. So all those difficulties would overcome. It was very, very difficult, but again, so true love overcomes whatever is difficult, because love overcomes all your struggles. As long as you love enough and will enough, and you shall achieve, and you shall overcome the challenges in your life, dear friends. And we should always treat each other with respect and fairness, like what Bruno said. Love should always remain a matter of free will. You love your partner freely, you love your parents freely, you love your children freely, you love others freely, you love God freely. Not even God demands your love. God is always there. Respect your free will. Respect your choice. Of course, God wants you to choose the good path, the divine path to Him, full of love. But God still respects our free choice, our free will, to choose which path we take. And nobody should treat nobody as their own private properties. And we see in lots of countries, there's lack of equal rights. So lots of women's and traders. Give you example, my wife from India, and she doesn't like how the way women treated there in the country or in her hometown to be so to speak. And then she will always want equal rights. And then if we cannot treat each other fairly, equally, in spirit, and then we always will have a problems. Nobody likes to be repressed, whether man or woman. Nobody likes to be treated inferiorly. Everybody wants to be treated fairly. When we treat each other fairly, and then we're likely to reach agreement long term. And my wife's mom, because she's a woman in India, she's working very hard for decades, and then do a lot of cooking, working, this and that. And then by the end of the day, after 30, 40 years, she got burned out. Now all the problems came. And then her mom and dad have arguments all the time. I said, this is normal because your mom's emotion has been repressed for decades. She hasn't been treated fairly. That's why now she can't hold it anymore. All the emotion has to come. And then when it comes, in her case, it's like flooding. So dear friends, treat each other fairly. And then always love out of your free will. Love, conditional love, unconditional love out of your free will. And we should always yearn a love with spiritual lodging for God, like how the way we love our partners. If you love God, if you want to walk on His path, or its path, make sure you strive for it. Make sure you take action. Not only the lip service, dear friends. We must strive for the good. For ourselves first, for the people around us, and for our neighbors and all those strangers in life. Wish you have a good day, dear friends, and God bless.